When you choose an unconventional career path, you're basically choosing to do something every day for the purpose of your profession that is most people's hobby.
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody has a guitar in their house. Do you feel like you still find that enjoyment, rest, are your tanks getting refilled still by playing music? Or do you have to like put yourself into that place again and like make the decision to do this for enjoyment, to like take yourself out of like hustle mode, career mode?
No, the choice is plays a huge part in that. There are times, and I remember my cousin back in the day, he would tell me this because again, he was a musician, producer, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Basically what I do now is he's done it and he's still doing it, So
Still going.
I'm so fortunate to have a mentor like him.
Yep.
That's my family, but also like someone that's walked through similar things that I've walked through.
Yeah.
So he always told me like, when you're producing, you're not really playing music. So like you're not getting better at your instrument. So you really have to like find that time. You have to choose to find that time to get better, And to me, I enjoy getting better. That's my whole life. I love, if I am passionate about something, I like getting better at it. So for me, I've had to, especially now in my career, I'm very picky and choosy of what I do take on as work and what I take on as fun when it comes to music.
For sure.
Like one of the things right now is that like I play, and to be in the band that we play for, you have to be a multi-instrumentalist. So I play keys and bass. Like those are my two instruments that I'm very confident in. My living is playing keys and bass, really. Right. I get more calls to be a keys player overall. So bass is like probably once a year outside of the work that we do, because we're playing every instrument. But in general, like I get called for bass like once a year. So
which is kind of crazy to me, but okay.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But it's actually beautiful in my opinion, because bass is the first thing that at 2 years old I started with.
That's true.
So now at 29 years old, I have a bass. It's the only instrument I have in my room is a bass.
Wow.
And I don't plug it into anything. I pick it up and I play bass.
Yeah.
For no reason. I just play
nice.
bass. And sometimes I'm learning stuff, learning tricks, but where am I going to apply it? Because I don't have gigs. So it's like, it's the one instrument that oftentimes, more often than not, is just for me.
A mentor, actually, it was ironically enough, is the same mentor who told me about the circles up the mountain. Was the one who told me you need to get a hobby. He's like, wow. you need to have a hobby. You can't just have music. It's not good for you.
Yeah.
It might work for some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think there might be some people that they can do it successfully.
Sure.
They have the wiring up there that lets them like, I'm going to do this for work. And then when I'm like off the road or I'm out of the studio or I'm
to
whatever.
be clear, it's not many people.
It's not.
It's probably not you. I've find a hobby.
I've personally not met one, but
go find a hobby.
I'm sure they're out there.
I'll tell you how it is.
Whoever this person is, I'm very jealous of them. I'll be honest. Because there are most days I don't want to play music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, that's part of the gift of time spent away from it, is that you spend some time doing other things, learning about other things, learning a new skill, reading a book, that make you kind of miss it. Like it's like,
of course.
Oh man, I kind of like, I should probably get in there and like.
I'm with you. I am right now, currently, today probably, Today I realized it. I've been learning it for 2 months.
Stairway to Heaven, finally.
The power of space.
Yeah.
The gift of time.
Yeah.
I've been learning that for the last 2 months, just sitting. Like we just went through this year of intensive touring.
Yes.
And now we're like given the gift of being able to breathe.
Yeah.
There's a gift in space. And this morning I woke up like, I have been botching it a little bit, the time of space, the gift of space and time. I've been botching out a little bit.
Let me tell
'cause
you though,
I'm
man,
very impatient.
just grace for you.
Sure.
Anytime you're given the gift of time,
Yeah.
you are gonna botch it. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like,
yeah.
it's just gonna happen. You don't know who knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, please go on.
No, that's I needed to hear that because I'm very hard on myself. But you're right. Like time is a gift. And when you get it, you have to learn. Like I'm learning how to use it now.
Yeah.
I've had time before.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing with it.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. So now I'm aware of it and I'm trying to put it to good use. I think about a decade ago when I was still. And I had this like hope of like maybe I'll get called to move to Indiana. But I had a moment again 10 years ago where I had to be still. And I had to be patient. I had to learn how to be patient. I had to wait.
Yeah.
And I'm glad this morning I woke up with that realization of like, man, I did this 10 years ago. I will be okay.
Yeah.
Because I got to reflect on the last 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
And how mind-blown 19-year-old Danny would be if he just knew it's okay to sit in the gift of time right now. Time isn't forever. So when you do get the gift of just stillness, be in it.
Yeah.
And I chose today to just be in it. Maybe watch tomorrow. I'm gonna get a call and I'm gonna be right back on the road.
Hey man,
but
honestly,
today I chose to be in stillness, and we're starting there.
You can't go on the road with an empty tank.
Ooh, yeah.
It's bad for you.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've had so many seasons where I have tried to take the reins so much, you know what I mean? Because there is a really delicate balance between being still and the skill that it is to know how to appreciate stillness and just being idle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would say for the most part, I'm not great at it, but the times that I have like gone on the road or gone into a busy season on an empty tank where I haven't had time to pour into myself, haven't had time to pour into my spirit, pour into my relationship with the Lord or with my wife. Mm-hmm. Those are some of the worst times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm making money out here. I'm doing the thing.
Crazy.
Like, but it
doesn't matter.
I'm kind of blowing it and I'm suffering and I'm not my best version of myself. And when that snowball starts rolling, man, it is a tough to write the course, you know?
And I think stillness is a very huge topic that's not spoken about in our career field, but it's like you said, it's such a big part. It's such a needed part to it all. Yeah. It's the thing that like ties it all together. It's just stillness.
Right.
Because we're contractors, because the nature of our career is if you don't do if you're not working right now, you're not eating, you're not providing. Right. It's not a 9 to 5 where I'm taking the day off.
Got vacation days,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
There's no PTOs in this career field. Like before you choose to be a musician, y'all gotta know if you ain't working, nothing's coming in. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you could write a song or something, but it's like, if you're not working, ain't nothing coming in. So it's up to you.
Yep.
So in that potential anxiety, right? Mm-hmm. When you plop stillness in between all that, what happens to that anxiety? You get to breathe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now you can move differently. You can be a good husband to your wife. You can be a good friend to your friends.
Right.
And still go and work.
Right.
And because you have had time, like the gift of time to just breathe. In our field, there's been the greats, to me, one of the greatest to do it, to be a musician, or kind of like all of this stuff. Quincy Jones, right?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Sad.
In his documentary, it is always like, just got me. Mm-hmm. That like he did all of these incredible things and things that we could only dream of. Some things that like, I don't know if I could win 11 Grammys at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, maybe one day. But there's still this like bit of not like, he wasn't fully satisfied,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of it. You know, I can only speak from what I saw in the documentary. Like he was still lacking in being a father at that point. That's what he felt. So it's like we see these greats and we see these things that we aspire to be, but it's like we got to realize everyone is going through their journey.
For sure.
Not everyone's life is perfect.
Yeah.
Comparison is killing us mentally.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's okay that you're not doing this specific gig or the gig that you see someone posting online. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay too. You know what I'm saying? Like sit in that. Enjoy now, because the now is going to be the past.
Right.
So please enjoy it.
I think a lot of people see, you know, people like us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what, like, especially like a year that we just had where it was like arenas, like crazy, you know, I think a lot of people see that and it just seems unreachable, or there's a very common misconception about who you are, how you're doing, what you're doing.
Oh my gosh.
I think especially from fans of the music, maybe like there's that like mis you know, conception of like what is really going on.
I mean, last year was a great example because I mean, it's one of the busiest years of my life, but also one of the hardest emotional and like in personal life, like years of my life.
Yes.
So it's like, yes, I am playing arena. Last year we played a stadium. Like it was a crazy year for shows.
Right.
We had one of the most unique, I think one of the most unique tours in the fall than anyone, like not just in Christian music, but like in like any field of like touring. We had one of the most unique looking shows.
Yeah.
It was incredible. And it's like, so I was working at a very high pace. But also back home, I'm going through one of the hardest things a person could go through. I was losing a parent.
Yeah.
So, you know,
at a different state.
In a different state.
Like,
so we do a lot of our work is like we'll play for a weekend and we come back home. So I'm playing these weekends, coming back home and driving to this different state. Yeah. And then coming back in time to catch the bus to go back on tour. So like this was in the spring mostly. So it's like, man, like I was going through one of the heaviest things and you know, oh, he must be the happiest person in the world. You're living your dream. Yeah. It's like, yes, I am. And also I'm going through the hardest season of my life. Right. I am barely hanging on. So it's like we look at these people and it's very easy to do it in our field because we are on stage in front of thousands of people. Right. We are on TV, we're on videos, we're these figures of like, in a way, even though we're in the background, like we're these like people that are doing what a lot of people are dreaming of. Yes. So it's like, man, that guy must have it all together. Right. And it's like, nah, I don't. Yeah. And I that was my journey last year of like, I was doing all of that, losing a parent. There's other people that like have the top of the top gigs. And behind closed doors, there's scumbags. You know what I'm saying? They're doing terrible things. Right. So it's like we put people on pedestals. Yeah. And it's like the sooner that, again, when you realize everyone is going through something. Everyone. Yeah. There's a danger in Christian music, especially. Sure. Like there's a danger there of, I think people like the content is one thing. Yeah. You know, the context is one thing where it's like, this song has changed my life. I have never like felt, you know, more seen, more heard like than when I hear this. But then there's that unhealthy barrier of, I'm going to put this mantle of Messiah onto this artist, and everyone else who's on their stage. Yeah. That is not only harmful for you, but misplaced for them. Uh-huh. And everybody gets hurt when that happens. 100%. Because there's expectations that are built that can never be lived up to. And also there's people that it's quite literally not their role. Yeah. And they could never measure up to this expectation. Never. You're always going to disappoint somebody. Yeah. And as the artists and as the musicians, as the creatives, you have to be okay with that. So yeah, to me, it's like, learning to be okay with like, I can't make someone out there, thinks I play terrible and I shouldn't have this gig. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like someone out there, I know for a fact, I've seen some of the comments.
I've had the conversations.
You know what I'm saying? Oh God. But it's like, you have to, that's part of this career field.
Yeah,
you are looked at in a different, like for better or for worse.
It's scrutinizing.
It's insane. But the faster you learn how to like deal with that, the more you just move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
And you continuing the purpose that you've been led to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I really do think of myself, I am an entertainer.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'm showbiz, baby.
Oh yeah.
Like
I love it.
And like and I was born to entertain people.
Yeah.
And part of that, which I think is a calling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And part of that, by the way, means that you have to leave it all kind of behind when you put that character on.
Yep.
Now there is something to be said for like playing through your emotions,
Yeah.
playing through the hard times and like exercising that thing, like working that thing out. It's so helpful and it's beautiful, man. But like you really do have to give them a good show. Yeah. And in a lot of ways it can feel like acting.
Yeah.
But how many times are you on stage thinking about something complete, like I wonder what post-show food's going to be.
Oh my gosh.
And you're suspended 40 feet in the air. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like,
I mean, especially towards the end of tour.
Yeah. And you've done it so many times and you're like, now you're making the effort to check in.
Yeah. It's a different mind trip. Yeah.
Yeah. That takes so much effort to stay engaged, because I think the moment you sort of unplug and you just like, I'm just going to focus on me now out here. It's like I've got way too much going on.
Yeah.
I've got way too much at home. I've got way too much, in my, and I'm just going to carry it with me on the stage.
There are healthy ways to carry things, right?
Yeah.
There's very unhealthy and there's healthy ways.
Yeah.
To me, because music is a huge part of why I'm on this earth. You know, like it's a big moving thing. It's the thing that I get to like do. And like, again, what you do is not who you are, but it's like this, who I am, like produces this thing that I do. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like you can't not do it.
yeah. Like even whether I'm making money or not, like I will always play music.
Yeah.
I found a lot of my healing was on that stage.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yes.
I brought it to the stage, but in a different way, not to hinder my performance or to hinder the show. I brought it up with the intention of like, this is a place. It can't be fully the place. Yeah. Because that's not healthy, right?
Sure.
But in a healthy way, this is a place I can find healing.
Sure.
As I'm walking through this thing. Looking at one of my favorite things in the world is listening and looking at my bandmates play music.
It's the best.
Like I saw you every night dropping down from 40 feet, just stoic on the bass. And my view is literally towards you. And I'm just watching you come down and you're just with this stoic face. And sometimes you would be like, yeah. And like, it was just these different characters that you had. Yeah. And I got to see that every night. Yeah. And just like in those moments, I found joy that I couldn't find when I went back home and I had to take this drive.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember seeing those moments of you and I having heavy convos. You know what I mean? You sharing something very heavy, like, just stuff that I just, and then like seeing you on the stage, that same joy and knowing that's not manufactured. Like he is not faking this right now. Yeah. That takes character, which you have. It really has served making me and everybody else on that team better. Because I think that anytime you find yourself in a situation where the rising tide truly lifts all the ships, that's a gift, man. And you got to hang on because it is rare. Those seasons come and go. And if you're in one, be in it, be present to it because you will learn so much. I learned so much from watching you walk through that really difficult experience. And I am better for it. And because of that, I'm not the raving lunatic coming down 40 feet in the air. Just like, I hate everything and catering sucked. How many more times they gonna serve us chicken?
And I have to say this because this does happen in our career field. Some of those days, it does suck. I remember when I first, 2 years ago, my mom got diagnosed with ALS.
Yep.
And I was on tour. And I found out before we played show. And I was a shell of myself. And at that night specifically, there was probably some acting. There was a lot of acting in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still have to, but there was probably times where if someone glanced at me, didn't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the reality as a human,
of course,
it's like you are going through this thing called life that is very hard most of the time.
Right.
No, is most of the time it's hard.
Yeah.
So it's like there are moments where I've seen you, like knowing you, like, man, I know he's having a hard time right now for this, this moment. And as still a person with character, like for your bandmates, you have to have grace.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you're with what we do, touring, being a musician, you're around people all the time. And if you have this expectation of like, if I was like, man, you have to come at 100 every time, man,
yeah,
that is just, now I get it. We strive to do that. And now like, hey, let's work. There's ways to work around certain things, right?
Yeah.
But if I know that's not who you are,
right?
I know that's not what you always do.
Right.
Like that night, that's not going to happen every night. Like there are times where you have to have grace, and I think
absolutely
sometimes we don't do that enough.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like I think that's the special thing about our specific camp, and I'm very fortunate, man. Again, I've been saying this quite a bit, but I've always had really great people around me.
Yeah.
That's the fortunate part of my life, and also my career, is that I've had great people around me, either protecting me or actually seeing me where I'm at.
Yeah.
Not everyone gets that.
No,
Especially for their whole career.
It's
I'm actually a little weary about the next decade because I'm like, oh God, but also I have faith that I'm going to be protected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm very grateful to have gone through that experience in front of you guys.
Yeah.
That like gave me that grace.
When you work like a 9 to 5, I feel like it's like you can leave the office at the office, and then I'm going to come home and hello kids, daddy's home, and where's dinner? That is not the lifestyle that we live, and it's like you kind of like, you sort of carry it all around all the time. So it's kind of like, the amount of times I have been standing on the side of the stage, with one ear in and one ear on the phone, holding the guitar, like countdown's going, and I'm just having the toughest conversation. Yeah. And I'm like, hard. All right, I'm going to have to call you back because I've got to go up here and do this thing.
Yeah, man.
And, it takes a special woman, I will say.
Wow.
But at the same time, too, it's a practice. Kara and I were talking about it just this morning, about how I can remember when I was a newlywed, doing this, not at this level, but, doing this at a smaller level, and also learning the industry at the same time that I'm learning how to be a husband.
Ooh.
And not knowing how to balance the two.
Wow.
And failing a lot.
Wow.
And, and I certainly don't have it all figured out now, but it's really easy for me to look back and see where I made the biggest mistakes in trying to navigate both of those things. And also seeing that one of them is significantly more important than the other, because when you're young and you're hungry, it doesn't really look that way. That, I think, is like a key difference in choosing to do this, is just the knowing that you won't get that work-life separation balance as much as you might otherwise.
Sure.
You're going to have to learn to live in both at the same time.
Yeah.
And it is hard. It's very challenging.
Very.
And the people who I think do it best have good, long, healthy careers.
Absolutely.
Their growth does this instead of like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be valleys, but
always. Wow.
That is the hardest part of this. In my experience, that's been the hardest part of this, is knowing, how do I carry both responsibly?
It's a day-to-day thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
what worked for you 5 years ago with you and your wife, probably like,
Oh, it definitely doesn't work now.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's, and you have to be okay with change with this career.
Yeah,
you can't
get too cozy.
No, do not be cozy. Like the reality is things are going to change.
Right.
And in conversation of like, how do you have a longevity in this, is being okay with that.
Yeah.
Like coming to grips with like, this is great now. Let me live in it now because this will change later. Right. It's just the reality of our business. Yep. And you don't have to have all the answers right away. You could take it day by day and be okay.
That's really good.
But you know that there's that reality.
So you've spent years now MDing, band leading, doing that whole thing, leadership role on the road.
Yeah.
But you're also making your own music.
Yeah.
You're also your own artist. Let's talk about, I don't know how to pronounce it. It is literally like Dilo by GPT. I was like, I know how to say that one. And then you guys rebranded and I was like, DGX House. So you got this.
I want you to tell Garrett this.
I'm going to tell him.
We're Doghouse.
Doghouse.
Okay. The X is standing in for the O, but it also means D and G, you know.
Love that.
Man. Man, it's this thing.
Doghouse.
Doghouse.
So tell me about your band, Doghouse. This is your first time in Berlin?
Man. You
are playing in West Berlin.
This is good practice for me because this will, I think this will actually happen. We will play in Berlin.
This will happen.
They're going to ask me this and I can't laugh then.
Do you have a dog? Is it a Labrador? Golden Retriever?
French Bulldog.
A French?
Bro, that's so real. This is good practice. No, we're called Doghouse and we're on our way of putting out music right now. We're like, currently, as we're filming this, we're just releasing some videos, just getting some feelers out, trying to like grow our like eyes on us, you know, just not by putting out music, but just by putting out little behind the scenes.
Fangirl for a minute because you guys posted something the other day that was just B-roll of you at a piano.
Oh man.
And it was insane.
Wow.
Insane.
You,
like I was like, God.
I'm
going to love Doghouse. It was insane. I hear you play all the time. Like, you know what I mean? I'm well aware of how good you are, but I'm still I'm like, geez, Danny.
No, man, thank you for saying that, man. Doghouse for me and Garrett is something that like we get to like curate. And as you know, being a musician producer, you are serving another person's vision.
Yeah.
That's our job is, okay, yeah, I grew up the skill, but like I'm coming under somebody else's vision, you know, artistry, whatever it is. Yeah. That's the job. Yeah. It's you are accomplishing someone else's.
Serving the artist.
So, yeah, and that's beautiful. I grew up when I thought about touring, that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. I never thought about artistry ever until probably late 2023 when Garrett came up with this idea.
Yeah.
So this project Doghouse is just pure creative, pure passion, and it's really just me and Garrett making music that we love. With some of the songs have other people on them too, like that we're featuring, and it's a jazz instrumental project.
Yes,
and we finished an album. You know, I'm gonna just spill the beans. Whether this has come out before or after, like we're dropping an EP, a single, then the album this year. So
let's go.
We're just releasing this to the world, and just like, you know, again, I'm playing very differently on this project than I do with an artist that I'm playing for. You know what I'm saying? Like it's night and day, because this is probably the purest form of me playing.
Yeah.
This is 2-year-old Danny just playing. So it's that format of like just pure creation. Yeah. And whatever comes out, and we're producing it. You know, we're doing, you know, it's not just one take, here you go, this is what I'm gonna put out. It's thought out. It's there's literally no pressure in anything. We're gonna do it right. You know, we're having the right visuals to it. We have a proper artistry to package it to the world. But at the same time, it's just pure joy to put these songs out. There's no like label or anything looking down on it and like saying you have to change this. It's just us creating.
You get a chance to serve your own
Man,
inclinations and your own inspiration.
that's weird.
Great. I'm so excited
That's
to hear
crazy.
it. I can't wait.
Thank you.
I'm such a fan. I'm so stoked. It's going to be
Thank you.
awesome. Danny,
Yeah.
tell us one thing you're excited about, and then we'll wrap up.
One thing in general, just one thing I'm excited
The
about.
question is as it lies.
I'll say this, because I could easily do music stuff.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of music stuff I could say I'm excited about. I'm excited. I'm learning, like I said, I'm learning about stillness right now.
Yeah.
And I'm learning how to rest right now. I'm in a period of my life where I'm learning how to be a healthy adult. And I am excited to continue on that journey. I'm excited to read more books.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to learn more about myself. And I'm really enjoying the stillness of life right now. You know, because of last year, I've been given the gift of time to grieve properly.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to do that with also like learning how to like cut bad habits and cut things out of my life that they just don't work for me anymore. I'm so excited about the journey ahead, the next 10 years,
Hey,
you know?
we're back on the mountain.
Amen, Jesus. Back on the mountain.
Well, here's to the
baby.
next 10 years. Thanks for
Yeah.
doing this. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Of
You're
course.
the best.
Come back.
Yeah, of course. Hey, man, just ask, bro.
Come
Text
back
me.
to this podcast studio that I don't own. Let's do this
Shh,
again.
they don't know
They
that.
don't know. That's that misperception.
Yeah,
This is
mystery.
Everything you see here is mine.
Come on now.
Thanks for doing this, Danny. I love you, man.
Love you too.